welcome to video 4. You will notice that there's a little bit of a typo in the banner for this. It does say video 3. That would make our second video 3. This actually is video 4. But in this video, we're going to look at converting between metric and standard and going from standard to metric. So in these situations, we are definitely going to have to use our conversion factors. And the easiest way to set up these problems is going to be using ratios, just like we've been using so far. Now we have some of the most common factors, conversion factors, listed below. We have the most basic one for length, weight, and volume. But if you go to the very back of your packet and go to Appendix B, we are going to have a conversion chart that is going to have more of these in detail. Now you'll notice that these do carry out the decimal places a little bit further. We're only going to require that you are going to look at 2 decimal places in these. So even though it may list it out further, like for example 0.3048 meters, you can just go to 2 decimal places. And that is in your packet to help you out. Now for these conversions from standard to metric and metric to standard, it is not going to be required that you have these memorized. You will be given appropriate conversion factors for your mastery checks, and you can use this packet anytime that you are working on the practice to help you out. So let's go ahead and jump back to our examples. We are looking at how many pounds are in 1 kilogram. Or sorry, we're asked 120 pounds is how many kilograms. So we're going to set up ratios just like we've been doing. We are given pounds and we want to have an answer in kilograms. So I'm going to put a kilograms at the end here. Now notice pounds are on top, so I want to make sure that pounds are on bottom. Now if I look up at my conversion factor that's given on this page, 1 kilogram is going to be equal to 2.20 pounds. So I'm going to put 2.2 pounds on bottom and 1 kilogram on top. And I will multiply across. The top I'm going to get 120, and on the bottom I'm going to get 2.21. I am then going to divide those out, and I am going to get that there are 54.55 kilograms in 120 pounds. Again, we're going to be rounding to 2 decimal places. Alright, so let's take a look at another example. In example 7, we are asked how many centimeters are in 4 feet. So we are going to have to go from feet to centimeters. Now that isn't something we're going to have a direct conversion between, but what we do have a conversion between is between feet and meters. So I know I'm going to cancel out feet, and I know I'm going to go to meters. Now to help me out with this, I'm going to go to the conversion in Appendix B. So I am looking for feet to meters, and that is going to be right here. 1 foot is going to be equal to 0.3048 meters. So remember we said we go to 2 decimal places, so we'll use 0.30. So I'm going to go back to my example, and I am going to enter that information. So I found that 1 foot was going to be equal to 0.3 or 0.30 meters. And I'm going to be able to now cancel out feet. And now I have meters. But remember, we wanted a final answer in centimeters. So we are going to have to cancel out meters. In 1 meter, there are going to be 100 centimeters. We're taking 2 steps on that scale we talked about in video 1. So we're going to be multiplying by 100. We can now cancel out our meters, and then we would multiply on top. We're going to multiply 4 times 0.3 times 100, and we are going to find that that is going to give us 120 centimeters. We multiply on bottom 1 times 1 times 1, so that's 120 centimeters over 1. So our final answer is going to be 120 centimeters. Alright, so now we're going to be looking at converting rates, and what a rate is it is a ratio of 2 different units. So for example, we could be looking at miles per hour, kilometers per second, feet per second, anything like that that's comparing 2 units already, where we are going to have to convert one or both of those units. So we're going to look at example 8. We're asked to convert 35 miles per hour to feet per second. And you'll notice that we're given 2 units at the very beginning. We're given miles per hour. So we wrote this out as 35 miles. And then that per is going to be like our division sign. That's going to tell us what's going underneath. It was miles per hour, so the hour goes on bottom. Now we're looking at what we're trying to convert to, and we're getting feet per second. So we want a final answer that has feet on top and seconds on bottom. Now to do this, we can only convert one unit at a time. So first I'm going to look and try and cancel out my miles. So my miles are on top, so I'm going to have to put miles on bottom. Now we are going to feet, so I'm going to put feet on top since I have a direct conversion factor that's going to help me get there. Remember, there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile, so I can cancel out miles, and I have feet left on top, but I have hours left on bottom. So this is going to give me an answer in feet per hour when I want feet per second. So I've taken the feet to where it needs to be, so now I need to look at converting the hours. So notice that the hours are on bottom here instead of on top like we're used to starting out with. So I'm going to need to put hours on top to be able to cancel them out. Now we know that 1 hour is the same thing as 60 minutes, and I can cancel out hours and hours. Now I'm still not at what I want. I'm at feet per minute right now. I need to go to feet per second. So I need to cancel out minutes, which are on bottom, by putting them on top. And we know that 1 minute is the same thing as 60 seconds. So minutes are going to cancel. And now we have feet on top as our only unit and seconds on bottom, which are our only unit. So we know that we have the correct units, and we can go ahead and multiply these out. So I'm going to write this off to the side because I'm going to have trouble fitting it in right there. But I multiply the top, 35 times 5,280, and I'm going to get 184,800. And then on bottom, I'm going to multiply 60 times 60, which is going to give me 3,600. And I divide these out, and that's going to give me 51.33 feet per second. So that is going to be my final answer. I was asked for feet per second, and that is what I gave. Alright, there are 3 you-try problems for you guys to attempt. Go ahead, give them a try. Make sure to check your answers, and we'll see you in the 5th and final video.